The first one of these happened in 1858, and 18,000 people watched it from a field.
The first televised one happened in 1960 and was one of the most watched broadcasts in TV history.
What did everyone want to see? Find out next on Sarah's Wiki Corner podcast.
It is time for Sarah's Wiki Corner. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Hello. What are we learning about today on your Wiki Corner?
Well, last night we had the first presidential debate of this election cycle, right? So I thought we would talk a little bit about the history of presidential debates.
Sure.
Yeah. So candidate debates are not constitutionally mandated, but they are now considered an intrinsic part of the election process.
Yeah.
Debates have been broadcast live on television, radio, and in recent years, the web.
The
web.
Okay.
Yes. The first debate for the 1960 election drew over 66 million viewers out of a population of 179 million, making it one of the most watched broadcasts in U.S. television history.
Really?
That very first...
66 million is a big crowd.
Yeah.
Especially for back then.
Right, yeah. The first presidential debate, like I said, was not held until 1960, but several other debates are considered predecessors to the presidential debates. There was a series of 7 debates in 1858 between Abraham Lincoln and Senator Stephen A. Douglas for the U.S. Senate, and those were true face-to-face debates with no moderator.
Oh.
The debates were designed to generate publicity, some of the first examples of what would later be called media events.
Oh.
Yes.
Whoa.
For Lincoln, they were an opportunity to raise both his national profile and that of the burgeoning Republican Party, while Douglas sought to defend his record. Each debate lasted about 3 hours.
Oh.
Oof, 3 hours.
3 hours.
One candidate spoke for 60 minutes, followed by a 90-minute response, and a final 30-minute rejoinder by the first candidate.
Whoa.
That's a marathon right there. That's
a lot
tough.
of listening.
They were held outdoors, weather permitting, from about 2 to 5 p.m.
Perfect.
And
before dinner.
Right, and the fields were full of listeners, up to 18,000.
You're kidding
At
me.
one point.
I didn't realize that many people actually came. I mean, I knew a little bit about
stand around
these,
for 3 hours and listen to these two guys talk. Yeah,
That's amazing.
And it's not like they even had microphones.
I was going to
back
say
then.
they could hear. They must be set up in. Was it just a flat field?
I don't know.
Imagine speaking for 90 minutes straight, no microphone, to 18,000 people. Your voice would be shot.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Douglas was reelected, but the publicity made Lincoln a national figure and laid the groundwork for his 1860 presidential campaign.
Okay.
Wendell Willkie, which is a great name, became the first 20th century presidential candidate to challenge his opponent to face-to-face debate when in 1940 he challenged President Franklin D. Roosevelt, but Roosevelt refused. In 1948, presidential candidate debates became a reality when a radio debate was held in Oregon between Republicans Thomas E. Dewey and Harold Stassen during the party's presidential primary. So the first general election presidential debate was 1960. It was held on September 26th that year between Senator John F. Kennedy and Vice President Richard Nixon. At the outset, Nixon was considered to have the upper hand due to his knowledge of foreign policy and proficiency in radio debates.
Sure.
However, because of his unfamiliarity with the new format of televised debates, factors such as his underweight and pale and kind of sweaty appearance, his suit color blending in with a debate set background, and his refusal to use television makeup resulting in a 5 o'clock shadow led to his defeat.
That's a lot going against you there.
Yeah. After the Kennedy-Nixon debates, it was 16 years before general presidential candidates again debated each other face-to-face. The next presidential debate did not occur until 1976, after which debates would become a regular feature of all presidential campaigns. Washington University in St. Louis has hosted more presidential and vice presidential debates than any institution in history. Hofstra University, though, is the only school to host presidential debates in 3 consecutive campaign cycles, and PBS currently holds the record for the most moderated debates with 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It was interesting how it went last night because CNN was obviously hosting the event, but it was carried on a multitude of networks.
Oh yeah.
And streaming services. But there were requirements that you had to carry the CNN logo on all the platform. Yeah, and there were all these different requirements. I don't know if you have to pay to carry it or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, you picked out a record to go along with the presidential debates, did you, Sarah?
So we're going to play Snoopy for President by the Royal Guardsmen.
We'll do it, Sarah. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
trying to imagine, like, really what back in 1858, what that really would have been like to stand there for 3 hours.
Yeah. In a field?
Without a mic. Like, it hit me just now that there's no microphone, really. So they're just standing out there talking and
just belting it out.
3 hours.
I mean, if it was in an amphitheater, sound carries pretty well in amphitheater, but it was a field.
I said field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a slight slope, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, President Lincoln was real tall, right? So maybe his voice
just
carried farther.
But I've heard about his voice. It was not a. It's funny because you see people, right? You see the pic, and maybe you can imagine like what you think their voice sounds like.
Right.
But I heard Lincoln's voice wasn't a deep voice.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
Not what you would think.
Not what you would think, being so tall. I mean, I guess.
Did you see the movie Lincoln?
I did not see it.
Oh.
No. That was with what's his name?
We're having a lot of trouble with like
was that
actors' names.
Was that Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah.
Look at me. I'm not having
No.
trouble with names. I'm right on it today. This is my
Good for
day.
you.
What did I drink? Is it ginseng? Is that good for your memory?
Ginseng?
Is
Do you have
it?
ginseng?
Is
I don't know.
ginseng good for your memory?
Sounds like it.
Fish
It would
oil?
be, right?
Is fish oil good for your memory? Or is that good for my skin?
I don't know. I give fish oil to my dog, so
Oh, do you?
I do.
Does he have a good memory or good skin?
Well, both, I guess.
Okay.
I think we give it to him for his joints.
Do I have a silky
I think it's for his
coat?
joints.
Oh, joints? Okay.
I
Never
think
mind.
that's what the reason is.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. My joints are all right so far. Not gonna
So
lie.
far, so good.
I don't know, though. Start to get up off a couch and I groan.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that's my joints. That's just what happens.
That's just what happens when you're in your late 40s.
Yeah, you just start making sounds.
Yeah.
You don't know why. Inexplicable sounds. I don't know. All right.
That's fine.
All right. So these are my words. 1960, one of the most watched broadcasts in the year. Okay. Yeah, what is it, 66 million viewers?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot, Sarah. That's a lot.
But back then, I mean, imagine you've never seen anything like that before.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, here we go. Legends 1027, the Royal Guardsman, and Snoopy for President. Sarah, do remind us, why did we just play that record?
Well, because we were talking about the history of presidential debates.
Sure were.
Yeah.
Let's recap 3 things we must take away from today's Wiki Corner. Are you ready?
Ready.
Go.
All right. Early debates between Abraham Lincoln and Stephen A. Douglas lasted about 3 hours.
The first general election presidential debate in 1960 was one of the most watched broadcasts in U.S. television history.
And Washington University in St. Louis has hosted more presidential and vice presidential debates than any other institution.
There you go. There it is. I wonder how you get to be a university that hosts.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if they keep going back to the same ones, how do you get anybody else? St. John Fisher, could they put their other hat in the ring?
Why not? I don't know.
They're a university now.
Yeah.
So they're kind of big,
SUNY Brockport?
I don't know. How about that, sir? Just kidding. Is that a university? It's a university.
It is.
But it's the College of Brockport.
It's a state university.
Okay. All right. Geez. Bite my head off, why don't you? Folks want to learn more about presidential debates. Sarah, where do they go? What do they do?
Well, you can go to my Wiki blog. If you go to legends1027.com, on the homepage, there's a link that takes you to my blog where I post everything I talk about every day.
Yeah, check it all out there. Plus, you can always watch these live on Facebook when they happen at 4:10 every weekday, facebook.com/legends1027. And they get archived up on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search Sarah's Wiki Corner, and the whole library of podcasts appear there.
That's right.
All right, very good. Have a wonderful night, wonderful weekend.
You too.
You're back on Monday, fresh episode.
I sure am.
It's an abbreviated week next week. Just
It
remember,
is,
Monday,
I
Tuesday,
know.
Wednesday. That's it.
That's it.
So you got to pack a punch in 3 days.
I'll do my best.
All right. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. Traffic and weather next on Legends 1027.